Hey guys and girls, and welcome back to Greatest Good Tarot. I hope you're doing well and keeping out of mischief. Now, it's going to be a bit of a serious kind of reading, this one, as it's obviously still happening in Manchester. Many people are still kind of dealing with what's going on in Manchester, the attack today. And I just wanted to kind of check in to see, will the rhetoric change? And I want to share this, and this is not in any way to belittle in any way what's happened to the Jewish community today. Who have been, for years, we all know it, calling out that their community is being attacked. Anti-Semitic attacks in any, which way, shape or form are up hundreds of % by official statistics. Yeah. And nothing was done. Nothing by Sadiq Khan, who allows this form of rhetoric to happen, what I can gather, pretty much weekly basis on their protests. Starmer, nothing happened there. And like I said, it's not just the Jewish community. From actually knowing people in the gay community, and also the lesbians as well. Pretty much all the couples that I know, and this is not a new thing, but this is at least 2-3 years, have stopped the simplest thing of holding hands in public because of the increase in official statistics, hundreds of % hate crimes up. The black community, incidents towards their community up hundreds of %. All official statistics. And yet nothing, not referenced, not talked about, not seen as a problem by any, not just Labour, but Conservatives as well. No one calling this out. And it's very concerning. And I'm basically where we're going with this reading is this the change? Is this the final horrific incident, as it were? Because it's got the headlines. Obviously, the other instances rarely get spoken about, even in the media, but it's happening. And yet nothing is done about it. So, is this the final turn? Is this the final point? Is this the final incident, hopefully, where true change, positive change happens to protect the minorities that have been I suppose, targeted for so many years, for the greatest good for all concerned. Thank you. Always be appreciative, especially in times like this. It's difficult. And I just how it's why. No matter how many times the Jewish community is called out, and even having to put their own, basically, a parallel police force around their synagogue. I knew I was going to get that. I'm dyslexic, a professional dyslexic. So certain words. Synagogue. Apologies. So, yeah. And yet still that was, that's fine. You know, that's just a regular thing. Kind of like from the up high kind of thing, as if it was not a big deal. It's like, for goodness sake. So, 2 more, I've been told. So 2 more. But I hope you're doing well on this horrible day. So here we go. Is this the turning point for positive change? Here we go. Justice. Straight out. And I should also mention, and I was going to, but it skipped my mind. Obviously, women and ladies as well are in those minorities that incidences have been going up, you know, hundreds of % and stuff like that. So I've told, yeah, it's just enough's enough, you know. Justice. What else we got here? Temperance. I'm glad those are together. We'll talk about those in a second. But major arcana, straight out, heavy, big changes. Wow. People are not going to take this lightly. Truth, knowledge, wisdom, clarity. Wow. So the justice card here is cause and effect. Obviously, the truth of the situation's coming out. Done deal kind of thing. Then we've got the patience here and the temperance of kind of. And I think this is really important because it's not from a place of anger; it's a place of concern. The spin that would normally, oh, you're just racist, or you're just this, or you're just that, or you're just, you know, labeling of people. It just doesn't work anymore. I'm getting a lot of kind of pink ladies kind of protests, peaceful, calm, just holding people accountable. Determination from the Chariot, not going to be back down. And I feel very strongly here that there is, between these two, there's a big old link up between the women and ladies of the black, the pink. Sorry, I'm so flustered today. It's just like, it's just craziness. But the temperance here is like calm push forward. But I feel like there's a link up here from the pink ladies, from the black community, from the gay community, from you just see what I mean? It's like the Jewish community all clubbing together kind of feeling here, that you are not representing our concerns. You are not pushing this back. You're not sorting it out. You're not protecting our communities. You're just allowing this to happen, this increase in fear, in attacks. Ace of Swords, truth, knowledge, wisdom, clarity, information, data. This is the statistics. This is other kind of things that are going to come out. Can easily see this is, oh, we've been watching him for some time kind of energy. That kind of, but yeah, we didn't do anything about it. Kind of those sorts of drops of information. There's the betrayal, 7 of Swords. You're supposed to be protecting us, and you're not. Knight of Pentacles. I've been told to do this one as well. Magician. The Knight of Pentacles feels very strongly as these people clubbing together, these different communities, realizing that they're all in the same boat and kind of finally not being pigeonholed anymore, kind of coming together. These are the solutions we want. Not demands, solutions. There's a real difference here, and it starts manifesting. This is what we want. In the sense of, like before, it feels as if it's kind of an open-ended question, open-ended demand, as it were. Do something. Yeah? This is your job. Do something. Now it's specifics here. And all the people in command, as it were, head of police forces, head of different communities, mayors, prime ministers, they've got nothing to stand on, because people from all communities have been clubbing, like not yet clubbing together, but all been saying, we've been targeted, we've been attacked, we've been this, and official statistics show this. Yeah, the reporting of these crimes have like hundreds of % in the last couple of years, and nothing is being done. And they're trapped. 8 of Swords. Don't know what to do. Hawk Lady. This is the Garden of Eden. This is what we're building here now. A new way forward. Yeah? A new way forward. A new... this is what we're building now. And they're trapped. Notice that with the mole here, they're even, like the officials, as it were, even turning their back away from it. They don't want to see the Garden of Eden. They don't want this to happen. Because this is kind of going... The feeling I'm getting is this is kind of going back to the divide and conquer strategy for easy political wins and stuff like that. It doesn't help that people are now building bridges again, within communities, with communities all standing up, calling them out because their incompetence. Page of Swords. This feels like a whimsical kind of offer towards the 9. This is what we want. We're not stopping until we get it. This is what we're building, and there's some start. It kind of starts moving forward just between their communities, kind of supporting each other and that kind of thing. And this feels like a whimsical kind of soundbite on the news instead of actual effort, and it's not good enough. But this is a snapshot now. This is the foundation of the reading. If you're new here, we go for a bit of gossip and then an outcome at the end. And normally it's a lot more bouncy and silly and that kind of thing, but I'm not in the mood, and this is not the right place at all. Queen of Swords. Truth, knowledge, wisdom, clarity. Once again, the cold, hard truth. Blatant honesty can be a bit harsh, more than harsh sometimes, but it is verbatim, as it were. There's slimy, stuttery starmer in the underlining energy. This feels as if, it's almost as if he's hiding from the truth. He wants to be seen doing stuff, but he doesn't, but he doesn't want to get his hands dirty, is the kind of energy I'm getting there. Oh, I'm, coming back from Europe. I'm going to do Cobra meeting. I'm going to, but nothing, you know what I mean? It doesn't actually want to get his hands dirty. And these people here force them to get their hands dirty. So let's get the prediction deck out. So, if you're new here, please, again, it's normally a much more bouncier, sillier kind of fun time on this channel. That's what we try and keep but it's just not a good day. So please subscribe, ding-a-ling the bell. Come back when we're a bit more our usual selves, as it were. If you enjoy this reading, please thumb me a like. It genuinely helps out the channel. It bribes the algorithm kind of thing. And thank you to everybody who's hyping the video. Another thing, yeah, as well. It's just fabulous. It's wonderful. It's just, I don't know what it does to the algorithm, but it's a good thing. And comment down below if you're reading along. If you know particular people that you're picking up on, or yeah, read along down below. So 2 more. Okay. It's also interesting that someone else has commented this, and I'm literally quoting them from the comment section, but I can't remember who they said it was. I can't remember the person who did it, who basically said, you know, Starmer basically incited violence in his speech, which Merseyside Police still hasn't done anything about yet, that I can make out. I haven't started an investigation on that yet. And then literally a day or two later, it happens. And what's really kind of shocked me a little bit, as a throwaway kind of good news, the reading that we did then, it was a throwaway kind of, I'll put it on the record, but it just seems very disconnected to the reading. I even said, you know, Tuesday, you know, I've got the energy that like on Tuesday he leaves and on Thursday he comes back, and like is like I kept seeing kind of Range Rovers darting back and forth, and it had the kind of energy of like no confidence, kind of having to intervene, that kind of thing. And it's like, wow, it's just it kind of, that shocked me a bit, the fact that yeah. Anyway, not trying to get credit, it's just it just kind of shook me a bit that it's like it's not quite the intervening that I was expecting it to be, the energy that I got at the time. So, replacement. Lies, deception. What's that on? The Temperance, calling out the lies, deception. This replacement exchange card on the Justice. Kind of feels that it's like it's almost the rhetoric from appointed leaders being called out. I'm getting kind of the being interviewed by news or on call-ins on radio or stuff like that. They've said certain things along this time period, and it's all catching up to these people. It's like the Jewish community have been calling out that they're not safe, and you did nothing, that kind of thing, and you kind of fobbed it off 6 months ago, and now look, you know, that kind of energy. The Chariot, the recordings, that doesn't feel good. Ace of Swords, that feels like database, which was what we said before about this drips and drabs of information coming out. Oh, we were, you know, as an example, MI5, MI6 was following this person, or Prevent, or whatever it's called. We had been reported to them for a couple of times, blah blah, that kind of energy. This surveillance, though, it's kind of got in the energy of the attacker, as in kind of getting the energy of, and this may not be exactly right, but they like some sort of reports were already being put in from concerned like hanging around, like a couple of days, weeks beforehand type thing, kind of energy, looking suspicious. People called in, nothing was done. That kind of energy. Distraction on sneaky buggers, leaders. Yeah, Seven of Swords. Their usual techniques, and this kind of refers back to a reading that I've done this week, yesterday I think it was, where we were talking about, like, everyone seems to be playing the old game of chess when reality is playing checkers. They're playing football, we're playing rugby. That's where the conflict is right now. That's why nothing is resonating from what they say. The spin, the distractions, the third options from no good reason. None of it's working when it used to. And that's why they're being caught out. You know, the only reason why people haven't continued talking about Donkey Kong sanctuaries and stuff like that is because other things, crazy things have gone in, but the people are still remembering it. £740,000, isn't it? That needs investigation. That, you know, people still know about. People still want answers from, but the media have kind of pushed it on, and now, obviously, this, and then next week is going to be Conservatives party conference thing. But people aren't letting it go. When before it was so easy for people to let go because it was spun and manipulated and that kind of thing. Knight of Pentacles, celebration, success. This is the clubbing together, slap bang in the middle. Beautiful. Royal family. What's that on the Magician? If Charlie Boy does a speech or something, the language has changed. There's some sort of... It's like almost unexpected kind of a shift slightly in kind of speeches, or it could be, you know, wills, but yeah. Whatever it is, there seems to be a slight shift up high. Disappointing outcome. Yeah, the distractions aren't working. Nine of Pentacles. Hiding something. I think this is calling it out. I think it's calling out the pandering. It's like the speaking out of two sides of their mouths and that kind of thing. I think that's what it's kind of the end, and it's being called out and being shown and being distributed. You know, it's that kind of energy that what's being hidden or has been previously hidden, it's all coming back to bite them on the backside. Page of Swords, unexpected outcome. Ooh. Okay. Energy weapon. Everyone's woken up. Look at it, like enlightened, quite literally, illuminated. Suddenly, every eyes on, you know, on all of this. Underlying energy. Yeah. This is quite literally tick tock, tick tock. The professionals ain't got time. Their usual kind of kicking it in the long grass, kind of like, furrowed brow, kind of, this is so bad, and then moving on, and they ain't got time for that. But that's the first act. That's what they're going to do. When it doesn't work, then suddenly it's like, So let's go to the outcome here. Can we have the outcome for this reading, please? This is a turning point, which it seems to be very much the turning point that I was kind of picking up on. I wanted to, like, obviously do the reading to get some clarity and stuff like that. I've just seen all the fours in one of the clocks on my screen. I said clock. And it was just like that sudden wave of it's all right kind of thing as we're doing the outcome. It's okay. And the energy has shifted quite considerably. Kind of like a hug more than a kind of venomous kind of energy here. And kind of the ignoring of things and that kind of stuff. So let's have a look here. Three of Pentacles, new foundation. Okay. Which feels like the three communities that we're picking up here. Queen of Wands. Passionately going forward, taking charge. Temperance again in a balanced way. Beautiful. Queen of Pentacles. Proactive. Mumsy card. Taking care of people, but being proactive in doing it again. The fact that we've got those two ladies there, phenomenal. Especially with this temperance. This all feels like the pushback. This all feels like the communities coming together, new foundations, kind of, and then running on with it and not taking no for an answer. Strength card. Defending their ground. Hawk lady again. So the Nine of Wands here feels as if this is like a smear campaign starts. And it's like, no, this is what we're building. You're either with us or you're against us. It's that kind of energy. And I love this. This here especially feels amazing. This feels as if it's almost like kind of Sky News. I'm only using them as an example. I saw because for the new boys and girls, I try and watch as much media as possible. I try to keep out of an echo chamber as much as I can. And I was watching Sky News interview Richard Tice about like the language Stuttery Starmer had used, and the language, the smear, the smirkingness from the Sky interviewer, and then it cuts back like, oh, we recorded that earlier, and at the time I hadn't got the interviewer, the reporter, I hadn't got the script in front of me of what Stuttery Starmer actually had said. So he's like the language that this interviewer used towards Tice and the smear and the smirking and the manipulation of it, and it just becomes, it was horrible to watch. Just like, you're supposedly a professional person interviewing somebody, yeah, and this is the nastiness that you do. And he hadn't even done his research before it's just, it feels like that kind of energy. That interviewers are kind of trying to put people back in their boxes, like spinning it, kind of belittling it, I suppose is the word I'm looking for. That kind of, which is basically all what mainstream media does these days. There's the offer again. That kind of, these are the things we want. And we're not backing down. We're not kind of like, this is not demands and then off you go and run and pretend that you're going to do it. We're holding, this is it. This is all we want. Be done with it. Thank you very much. Hiding something. The illuminating. This feels, normally this is self-reflection, the Hermit. But this feels more like almost like a flaming torch in Indiana Jones kind of energy, kind of like highlighting the clips, the sound bites, the things people have previously said, that kind of energy. Embarrassing them even more. So even though the media is trying to smear this, aren't you overreacting? Aren't you this, that, and the other? Aren't you, that kind of nastiness. It's not going to work. And people are building towards this Garden of Eden. This is what they actually want, and this is their demands, and they're not backing down. and the give and take at the end. The demands are met. But there's going to be, but this is going to be interesting because obviously this is very similar actions to like towards like Epping and the hotel. You know, we'll label them far right. We'll label them this. Well, oh, that's not worked. We'll do this instead, and we'll do that instead. That hasn't worked. It's that kind of low-hanging fruit, kind of throwing rubbish, and it doesn't stick. The usual tricks don't work, and the demands are there, and we're highlighting the things that you've done before, and you've said before, and you've kind of this, that, and the other. And here is the payout. Overarching energy. This feels like similar to that, like flirting energy. This is kind of like fake, kind of fawning, kind of like the usual stuff that isn't going to wash. Death. That's what it's obviously what's happened. You haven't, yeah. It's basically, this feels as if your attitudes, and this is from the professional class, the police, the mayors, the prime minister, the former prime ministers, all that kind of stuff. You know, you're treating us like this, but this has happened. You're flirting with us, kind of like, oh, I totally understand whacking people. But it's like, you clearly don't, because it's now happened. We've been warning about this forever, and it's now happened. This reaction is not matching that kind of energy. So I'm going to, what is that underneath it? Seven of Swords. Sneaky buggers. It's the same sneaky buggers that are trying to like pander. Yeah? No, yeah, I've been told Kipper deck, and then we'll leave here. But yeah, it's definitely got that feeling of caught up in their own mischief, caught up in their own doublespeak, caught up in their own pandering, caught in that kind of. So let's have a look here, and then we'll leave. So thank you for understanding, if you got this far, why this important reading is the way it is. But it's like I said, it's just not the time or place, and I'm just not in the mood for it. The usual frolics that we normally do. So, community, exactly. Three of Pentacles, exactly. Once again, we had that in the center. We've now got it again. Community, all coming together. House. Privileged lady. House is normally like what's behind closed doors kind of energy stays there. Secretive things. It feels as if people are going to be called out here. And I feel like I've got this weird energy that some people who are now on the cabinet are now going to be exposed for pandering. Overarching energy, gift, underlying energy, marriage. Yeah, this is the pandering. This gift here, I feel like, is to the community. It doesn't feel like it right now, but it's can't get away from the evidence. Can't get away from their own history, stuff that's been said. I think there may this could be This could be, look, we'll consider this a throwaway line, right? We'll put it on the record once again, like previously. But I'm getting the energy of something like, I know that we've just had Labour conference. In one of the side rooms, there's all those kind of like little group meetings and stuff like that, and Andy Burnham being in every single one of them and stuff like that. It seemed. I feel like if it's not this year, it may have been last year, someone said something and it was recorded at one of those kind of breakout rooms, or there was a particular kind of subject matter in those breakout rooms, or it's something along those lines. And it may not even be Labour, but it just feels as if something that was meant for like that I was going to say community, but it's going to confuse with these communities here clubbing together. But it's what for that audience was meant to pander to that audience in this new, in the aftermath of this. It's bad. Let's put it that way. It's like, it's really bad, kind of, to have that on the record, almost like belittling people's concerns and saying this instead. Do you know what I mean? It's that kind of energy. And that's the person it is. That is, could be stuttery stammer. Ignore the fact that it's a lady. It's the privilegedness of it, the kind of the upper echelons. The fact that we're focusing on Labour just to make it a little easier, right? Let's just, as an example, say Ed Davies said something in one of these breakout rooms, and that's him, right? Kimmy could have said something in a breakout room, and that's her. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like, now she's up a certain creek without a paddle. She can't move, as an example. But the give and take, the back and forth here of the Six of Pentacles is very positive. It's like changes finally happen. It's horrific that we've had to go through this to get there. And it's their failings, the political class's failings for not listening, that's led us there. They'll try and make it out it isn't, which we've discovered here, but it is. And now they're being held accountable for it. Anyway, I hope this resonates, makes sense. If you're reading along, obviously comment down below. Thummy, subscribe, doing it, the YouTube stuff, right? However, until next time where we do this crazy shenanigans all over again, take care. Look after yourself. Be well. And thank you for your company. I'll speak to you soon. See you later. Ta-ra.